strategic partnerships have been a big part of my life since I was 12 years old. Okay? 12 years old, some of you know I've shared in bios and stories at dinner. From as young as 12 years old, I was making thousands of dollars a month buying and selling on eBay. Okay? I was always entrepreneurial. I guess as young as, I think, 8 years old, 9 years old, I was baking cakes and selling them in school. Guess who my partners were? My parents, because I made them bake the cake and drive the cakes to school. And then I was selling toys and candy in school. Guess who my partners were? My parents again, and my parents' best friend that had a wholesale card to the equivalent of Costco. So I could go in and buy the boxes of candy to sell in school. Okay? And then as I got into my teenage years, I built one of the biggest gaming communities in the world. And my partnerships there were other big gamers, okay? People I connected with, and as a young teenager was actually more business savvy and figured out how to monetize that, okay? I then got into personal training and nightclubs, okay? I paired and partnered with personal trainers that weren't as marketing and business savvy to become trainers under me. And a couple of my close friends ran big nightclub events. They made a lot of money. When I went to university, college as we'd call it here, an hour away in a different town, I said, hey, mentor me, partner with me, everything you've just been doing for the last 4 years that I kind of helped a little with, I want to roll out here. I did that, and as a 20-year-old in college, I ran nightclub events for a year. Biggest event, we made over £20,000. It's like $30,000 for one night, okay? And also, running nightclub events when you're in college and you're the guy running it makes it a lot of fun for the year, okay? I don't know what's better, the money or that. And then more serious business, I did $1 million business partnerships with pro bodybuilders. I actually made one of my professors a lot of money, and that was really useful in grad school, making a professor a lot of money, right? Came with certain perks. I partnered with NFL Super Bowl champs, did six-figure weekends, partnerships. I had a big fitness brand selling courses, but I had no e-commerce products. So I partnered with a friend that did e-commerce fitness products. Okay, that expanded my business. I built my agency very quickly. I partnered with masterminds and coaching programs to promote that agency. I then partnered with other agencies that couldn't do what I did. My agency, ROI Machines, that still runs at a pretty big level to this day without me. That agency is built off full service. We do the copy, the funnels, the split test, the data, the videos, the design, and all the ad platforms. That's the team Adam uses. Not many agencies in the world exist like that. Most agencies do ads only, funnels only, copywriters, right? I built an agency that did everything, because remember my slides yesterday? The unique selling point, that purple sweet spot, that's what I created, and it did very well. But one way I grew that quickly was through partnerships with other agencies that couldn't do everything, okay? And then more recently, I partnered with Lopez on an agency. He tried about 4 or 5 agencies before me. Everyone kept saying my agency was great. He partnered with me. Had success there, but it was just as the US brand acquisitions was starting. So luckily, it led into that for me too, okay? And now I'm a CEO of 350 staff running X-billion-dollar brands, okay? I've ran Radio Shack, Pier 1, and all the brands you know. Not many 30-year-olds in the world have done that, okay? How was that possible? Sure, I had a good reputation, unique talents and traits, but I'm not the only person at 30 that had those, okay? What did I have? The right partner, okay? And now I'm partnered with someone from Shark Tank, okay? Kevin Harrington. On other deals, he gets hundreds of deals a month, and he sends them over to me. Often I don't partner with them, but they might come into my agency, the mastermind, and it opens a lot of doors, okay? So strategic partnerships are key, whatever level, but especially once you hit that 7-figure level, they just help become a multiplier. So powerful, okay? And it's important to understand they can come in many, many forms, okay, that bottom bullet. It could become a full business partner. Often it's not, though, okay? It could become an affiliate, a sub-brand partner, a white label partner, an influencer. A lot of what I mentioned above, very few of those were actual legal business partnerships, okay? A couple are Kevin and Ty, okay? Kevin Harrington, Ty Lopez, legal business partners. But most of the rest, actually all of the rest, were not business partnerships, okay? And, you know, you've met some real legal business partnerships with people in here, okay, that shared their expertise. And I partnered with them because they had a skill set and a business that really interested me, but I wanted to collapse time, okay? I told Tyler on one of the first phone calls, I've been looking at building this software. So I can spend 3 or 4 years doing that, or I could partner with you. It doesn't have to be full business partnership. A lot of my success was leveraged through partnerships because I didn't have time to become an NFL Super Bowl champion. Like, I'm sure I could, obviously, right? But I just didn't have time. So someone that had already done that with a brand, with a reputation, with a following, he needed my skill set. I saw his skill set and brand as an opportunity, and we created a win-win. Okay, same for all these partnerships. It's about win-wins that ultimately, as shared there, do probably the most important thing out of all of them, collapse time. Because everything else can be paid for. Until we can buy time machines, only variable that can't be paid for. Right? Only variable. But Rudy, how do I find great partners? Funny you would ask. Through your network. Okay, you've heard this, right? That just through 5, 6, 7 people, you can be connected to almost everyone. Okay, there's even meme graphics on Google, so it must be true. But you really are. Okay, there's a lot of studies into this that really everyone in this room right now is almost connected to everyone in the world. Okay. Another funny meme, if any of you get this, I actually had to ask Kevin and Casey, so I'm showing my age there. Yeah. But your network is super, super important, okay? You need to ring the president. Well, if you call about 5 or 6 people, or just call one person, and then he calls someone else, and then they call someone else, then they call someone else, they might be able to ring the president and then freeway you. Literally. I think through my network at my level, now for where I'm at, I genuinely think I could ring almost anyone in the world through those 6 people, okay? And even though hopefully I'll never need to do that, it's important to have that, okay? It's important to have that connection when there's a serious issue, when there's a big gap in your business that you could fix yourself, but you don't want to spend a year researching it. You just want to ring someone that spent the last 15 years of their life doing it to come and help it. Okay? So your network, as the saying goes, is your net worth, okay? And you might say, well, what forms partnerships? How do you find the right partner? Most of the time, the answers you need is in your network. Hence why I spent a lot of this weekend facilitating that, right? Put your hand up high if you found someone this weekend that could increase your wealth. Good. Because let's face it, you can get information online, okay? You can't network like this online. That's why I wanted to do that, okay? That's why I gave up my apartment, had a nice corner apartment over the ocean in Tampa, nice routine. I got rid of it. I put all my stuff in a 20 by 20 storage unit, and I traveled the world for a year, and of course it was fun. It's a great experience, but it was a business decision. It was a business decision because I said to myself 3 years ago, before I did it, I highlighted my network was the most important variable in success. And I highlighted also the best way to grow my network was at events, at marketing events, speaking, okay? Because sure, you can do it on Facebook, messaging people, texting, but really how often do you do it? You get busy with everything else, and you never do, right? Or rarely. So I said, what's going to force me, and this literally was the conversation in my head, I was like, I really want to be successful. What's going to force me to do it to its max. And I always go big and then reverse engineer. So the most obvious one is a private jet, right? Because then you can literally get on the plane and go wherever you need to. And that's exactly what Grant Cardone said, okay? The reason he got his jet wasn't, obviously it was cool to have a jet, but it was because he would make the money back from having the jet because he could fly to anywhere for the business deals, okay? Obviously you can't quite afford a jet. Probably could, but it would be like most of my money, okay? And it's not a good business decision. But the closest thing to it is becoming homeless. Because if you don't have a house, where'd you go? You might as well go to the events, right? You might as well stay in the hotels. Because if you don't have a house, you're going to either be in a hotel in Tampa or a hotel at a business event, okay? And when you get tired from traveling and you cancel the next event to go to your house, what happens when you have no house? You go to the next event, right? So I forced myself. I made a decision most people in this room probably wouldn't do because it was hard. There's downsides to not having a house, to flying at least once a week, if not twice a week. Okay, it gets draining, it gets exhausting. Lived out a suitcase that by the end of the trip became 3 or 4 suitcases. Okay, but it actually accelerated my growth. Okay, and I'm here on stage today because of that. Okay, and I met people maybe I wouldn't have met. Ty Lopez, right? He was in Vegas, told me he was in Vegas, changed my plans, flew to Vegas the next day. Okay, able to do some of these big deals, okay, these big life-changing business decisions because of my network, okay?